Welcome to Comic Kick, where you can get your weekly kick of comics. I'm Jacob Knight with the Geek Press, and I'm currently broadcasting out of the basement where they keep all of their Thor 2 toys that didn't sell. There's just so much merch here, I'm surrounded by dark elves. Not in a fun way. Week 4! For the final week of January, we are finally closing this chapter on the Future State book series that we've been reviewing, each one that's come out. And I'm frankly excited. From this month onward, we're not going to do a weekly roundup of books. We'll just kind of focus on monthly retrospectives of what came out that month. But we wanted to really just give you a sampling of each book every week as they're coming out. So in case you were looking for what you wanted to read or wanted to hear someone's opinion on the new series, you would get it from here. We had several books this week come out, and we're going to go through each one, and I'm going to tell you whether or not I liked it, loved it, hated it, tolerated it, and whether or not you should go out and buy this one. Before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment. I mean, we're trying to get to 50 subscribers by the end of this year. Ambitious? Some would say no. I would say, why are you asking questions? Nobody asked you to ask or answer these questions. First up on this review extravaganza is Aquaman. Now, if you've been reading the recent incarnation of the Teen Titans or the recent Aquaman storylines, or if you know the character from Young Justice, currently in this Future State book, Calderon, Aqualad, is now currently Aquaman. This book is about Andy, the daughter of Mira and Arthur, who is kind of discovers that there's an ocean that's able to link between different worlds. So it's sort of their adventure, and something happens and you know it's crazy, and you kind of just get to see that unfold. Now, this book was very interesting. It's one of those ones where you don't necessarily have to know too much about the character, and you're sort of just there along for the ride. Of course, if you do know them, then you might have more investment in this book as an idea because of particularly what happens in it. But just as a standalone story, I found it pretty entertaining, and the coloring and art was really fun. I thought it was a pretty interesting concept. It's not exactly what I was looking for in an Aquaman book, so I can say if you're looking for a surprise and something that I believe you haven't read recently out of that lore, then this is the book for you. Although, since I'm not a consistent Aquaman fan, I couldn't give you the definite yes to get it, but according to my opinion, if it seems interesting to you, go for it. You'll be happy. Next is The Dark Detective. Now, this Batman book is once again focused on our boy, Bruce Wayne, who, if you watched one of our first reviews, is about Bruce Wayne who's on the run. Everyone believes that the original Batman is dead and that Bruce Wayne is dead, but you know our boy is hiding out, doing a lot of guerrilla-style fighting against the police state and its controller, the Magistrate. And if you enjoyed the story from the first Dark Detective book, it continues on here, and I wouldn't say it's a letdown of any kind. So if you enjoyed that book, then you'll enjoy this one. Next is Superman vs. Imperious Lex. This book was weirdly the most light-hearted entry into this week's roundup. The premise of this book is that Lex Luthor has found his own planet and is currently running it, and he's kind of got the entire populace not only fooled that everything is going great, but also kind of culturally, politically, and almost sociologically on his side. And although there are uprisings and people are starting to catch whiff that not everything is perfect as it seems, it's really interesting to watch sort of the apex of Lex Luthor's kind of hubris and how it's coming to bite him. The seeds of his interaction with Lois Lane, as well as his interaction with Superman in this book. So if you like the idea of an older Superman and Lex kind of going at it one more time, and kind of the place where Lex is, everyone's behind him, if that's an idea you can get behind, then totally grab this book, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. Up next is Future State Suicide Squad. Now, if you're a fan of the movies, this may not entirely be a book for you. This book is very much more so attuned to not necessarily comic lore, but the idea of what could happen and what kind of team you can make. And the team in this book is sort of a fake Justice League on another world. You don't know which, but when you do, it's quite an interesting turn of events. But this is just a Justice Squad going around fighting bad guys, doing their thing, and I honestly found it pretty well paced, the art to be pretty consistent and well done, and just kind of the twists that truly only matter if you're aware of the comic lore to be pretty interesting. If you like the idea of a Suicide Squad, then you'll probably like this book. Future State, Superman, Batman. Now this book doesn't exactly have any crazy outlandish ideas. It's sort of a return to form where you see Superman and Batman kind of get together and work on solving a case using their different abilities to find out what the heck is going on, with the only sort of added twist that it is futuristic, that people are using chemicals to change their bodies, and there's different type of equipment each characters use and are aware of. So if you just like the idea of Superman and Batman working together, then this book, you should just go grab it. Why not? Last but not least, Future State, Legion of Superheroes. Now, I have to be completely honest. Honesty time. I don't necessarily care for the Legion of Superheroes. I am sorry, Brian Michael Bendis. I just don't. The point is that the only exposure I've ever had to the League was in a WB cartoon from way back when, and it was a couple seasons, I think 2, and as a kid I liked it. The art here, I'm not going to say it's bad, because clearly a lot of effort and talent went into constructing not only the scenery and the design, but the characters themselves and how they move. It just is not exactly appealing to my own personal sensibilities. So although this art is good, it's just not what I'm into. This story is basically about the Legion. They've broken up. It's sort of a let's get back together book. So if you're someone who's invested in seeing the Legion, or you've read their history before and you want to know what happened, then this book will probably appeal to you. But as for someone like me who doesn't necessarily care too much about this Legion of super duds, I just... sorry. So that is the end of this week of review. We did it, guys. We did an entire month of Future State. I am tired. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to tell us what you bought, you can put it in the comments down below and we can have a whole conversation about why I don't appreciate Balloon Boy or Bouncing Boy, whatever he's called in the Legion. I'm sorry, I can't remember any of their names. Lightning Lad, Cosmic Boy, Cosmic Girl? See, I can't. I'm trying so hard to remember them. I can't. I'm so sorry. I swear, if I had the brain space to care about them, I would. But I just... Oh no, Garcia with the Geek Press. Thank you so much for watching. Please be safe and sound. And don't forget to come back next time for Comic Kick, where you get your weekly kick of comics. Check you later.